Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Betting Show. Hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday here on this May 28th. We have a lot to get into today. MLB, we have another NBA game to get into tomorrow night, so a Game 7 that we're going to give some picks out for, as well as an NHL game. While the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics took much of our attention, the Dallas Stars aren't going down without a fight, so we do have another game in the NHL Western Conference Finals. So we have a lot to get into today, but before we get into any of it, I do want to talk really briefly about that Boston Celtics Miami Heat game last night. An unbelievable finish, one of the great all-time finishes ever in NBA playoff history. But as much as I want to applaud the Boston Celtics for reaching this Game 7, something I certainly didn't think they were going to do when they were in that 0-3 hole, I do need to call them out somewhat. Because when you have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you have arguably the two best players in the series, in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, two all-NBA players, first of all, how does Marcus Smart get the last shot? Second of all, how is Derek White the hero? But put all of that in a bucket. How did the Boston Celtics choke away that lead in the fourth quarter? And that is something I give a lot of credit on this to Charles Barkley. I ripped him earlier in the series for his betting, but Charles Barkley was right last night. Boston was resurrected last night from the brink of destruction. However, they also choked it away. It's almost like they were choking on something, they started to see the light, and then Derek White provided the Heimlich that ultimately brought them back to life. However, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, don't assume going into Game 7 that this is a blowout. I know everybody right now is looking at that Game 5 and looking how the Celtics came out. The building was electric. Everything went the Celtics' way, and they won easily. I do not anticipate that for Game 7. So if you're someone who's going, oh, the Celtics made it to Game 7, they're clearly going to win, it's without question, I would hesitate. And you guys have known I'm someone who I'm following trends, I'm following data, and if there is one trend that is concerning to me about the Boston Celtics is they don't finish. They don't close things out. They have a lot of talent through the first 3.5 quarters. You might have a lot of faith in them, but there is something about the very end of a fourth quarter in clutch time where this team doesn't deliver. And you may be going, but they won, but Fumble Sports. They came out with the victory. But Jason Tatum shrunk. Jaylen Brown shrunk. And Jimmy Butler came alive at the very end. I actually wonder in my own way whether what we saw from Jimmy Butler in Game 6 is going to be eerily similar to Jason Tatum in Game 6 in the previous series against the 76ers, in which Jason Tatum had a really bad Game 6, except for the final few minutes of the fourth quarter. That got him going, and then he had an explosive Game 7 the following game. I wonder if Jimmy Butler is due for a similar kind of performance. He gets off to maybe a bad start, but then again, I think that Ryan, they're undefeated in elimination games this postseason. Think about how many elimination games they've been in. Given that they're the second best team in the NBA according to record, considering they have two superstars, why are they in so many elimination games? And frankly, why in those games, when they have a big lead, don't they stretch it out? Ryan, you may not like the take. You may think the Celtics are going to win big, but I think the Celtics right now should be feeling like they were saved, not that they're in the driver's seat. I think the Celtics need to have the same desperation that they had in Game 5. If the Celtics come out in Game 7 with the desperation they had in Boston in Game 5, I'll feel good about it. But I don't want the Boston Celtics, or their fans most importantly, thinking that they've accomplished anything yet. You got to a Game 7, that's wonderful, but you really were on the brink of destruction by your own doing. You were the one who collapsed in the fourth quarter. Derek White's shot should never have come into play. I'll be the one who brings that up. Others could talk about that shot, the play, all that the Celtics did to come back. But in so many ways, I am really concerned that the Boston Celtics right now are riding a little bit higher than they should be. For a number of reasons, by the way. If Duncan Robinson hits that shot, we're not even talking about this. If Duncan Robinson, who is the Heat's all-time leader in three-pointers, doesn't choke on 2 open three-pointers. But again, I think this is going to be an unbelievable game. All my word of warning was, first of all, let's see who the referee is. I did tell you, I didn't say it on the show, but I tweeted out before the game. I did like the Heat on the money line. I like the Heat on the spread rather at plus 5.5. We gave that out in the show. But I tweeted out right before the game, Zach Zarba was the referee all time, or rather this season, Zach Zarba. Now the Celtics are 8-0 in Zach Zarba games. So we had reason to like the Celtics on the money line last night, but we did take the Heat to cover, and they did cash. Anyways, that was my word of warning to Boston Celtic fans and to Boston Celtic bettors. You may want to be a little hesitant. That 7.5, 8 spread, that seems really high to me, given that I think the Heat also are feeling like they have another chance. I know a lot of people think that it's the Celtics who are only feeling that resurrection kind of feeling. For the Miami Heat, you have one more game. This isn't over yet. So anyways, let's get into our action today. Let's look at our picks for the previous day as we do every single show to open it up. Here's how we did yesterday. MLB games, we went 2-4. Really struggled on the in-show betting. 2-2 on the in-show betting. The Mets, man, what a pile of dog poop is going on right there with the New York Mets. Awful. Mike Torres, we're going to get to that question in just a minute. There is an early game for an 11:35 MLB on Peacock game. You guys know how I feel about those games. We'll get to that in just a second. But again, reviewing how we did yesterday, we cashed on both our NBA plays. We had the Heat covering 5.5. We had the over 205.5 points. That hit at 207. That was a nice little cash right there as well. Additionally, we did well on our NBA player prop bets. We did really well, especially in the first quarter. The first quarter, we came out hot. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 assists in the first quarter cashed. Max Strus over 3.5 points in the first quarter cashed. And of course, Caleb Martin, 12 points in the first quarter. So we were riding pretty high early in that game. Did pretty well overall. Our long ball, long shots of the day, we missed on both in-show picks, Soto and Ohtani. However, we did get one of our long ball, long shots of the day. It was actually our longest odds, which was a nice happening. And that is Austin Hayes went yard. So those were our picks yesterday. As always, we throw those down. We throw the results in the graveyard because we don't care about yesterday's news. We care about today's cashing tickets. So we're going to put that back in the graveyard, and we are going to give out all of our picks for today. All of those new to the show. Here's how we give out picks. Every time we hit 2,000 likes on TikTok, every time we hit a 2,000 like benchmark on TikTok, we give out a pick, as well as every time we get hooked up with our live goal of confetti, we give out a pick as well. Additionally, I'm trying one new thing today to see if any of you guys want to have some fun with it. There's one of those icons that you can give is the sunglasses. Every time we get a sunglasses, we're going to have a celebrity shot. So whoever gives us the sunglasses, that's their celebrity pick. So we will not only see their pick in the chat, we will put their pick up on the big board so others can see it as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do confetti for my picks. We're going to do sunglasses. If any of you guys want to make picks for everyone in the show to see, give the gift of those sunglasses, and we'll throw your celebrity pick up on the screen. We already have hit 2,000 likes. You guys are unbelievable. Appreciate it so much. I'm going to hold off on a pick for just 1 second because I do want to get to Mike Torres 835. Mike, great to see you this Sunday morning. Mike's asking about that early game between the Dodgers and the Rays. One of the things Mike brings up, Gavin Stone is trash, but the line is suspicious on the money line. I'm leaning on the over first 5. First of all, in doing my research about this game, I had the same reaction you did. So I looked at who the 2 starting pitchers were. I'm looking, by the way, right now on covers.com. And one thing I did notice in doing my research, covers.com provides trends. It's a great, by the way, free website that's really great for looking at trends. And you can see what's hot and what's not. So first things first, I went to the totals. Look at how hot the over is on Dodger games. The over could not be hotter. Go to the other side in the Rays. The over could not be hotter. Unbelievable. Then I go down to head-to-head meetings. The over could not be hotter. So this is one in which I'm looking at the trends, not even diving into the matchup of pitchers or anything else, just looking at the trends themselves. The over, everything is saying that the over is a strong play. So now let's go to the Outlier app and let's actually dive into it a little bit more. We look at that the over, the total is set at 9 runs. As Mike mentioned, Gavin Stone on the mound for the Dodgers, 10.12 ERA. Guy got lit up early so far this year. And now he has to face one of the best offenses in baseball in the Tampa Bay Rays. On the other side, the Rays have Josh Fleming going, 3.59 ERA, pretty good for the 42 and 2/3 innings pitched. Let's now look at the overall stats for the hitters that are going to be in this game. So Dodgers against left-handed pitching. Surprising, actually, that you have some averages that are way down here. I'm surprised that JD Martinez is struggling like he is against left-handed pitching. Trace Thompson as well. But Mookie Betts, you're always good with Mookie Betts against left-handed pitching, I feel like. Definitely consider him maybe on a player prop bet today. Specifically against Josh Fleming, though, this is what I'm talking about. JD Martinez, great numbers. He doesn't have good numbers so far this year against left-handed pitching, but lifetime against Josh Fleming. JD Martinez is absolutely a player I like today. So first things first, I'm actually going to tack him in. I'm going to put him at... I know that we've had him over the last few days. So those long ball, long shots of the day, those are brutal for me because, like, perfect example. Yesterday, 2 days ago, game one of the series between the Rockies and Mets, I picked Pete Alonso to hit a home run. He doesn't. Then what does he do yesterday? He hits a home run when I don't pick him. So there are times you have to ride someone. If you really think he's going to hit a home run during the course of a series, even if he misses on one day, not bad to go back to the well. I am going to go on double dipping on this right here. I'm going to go to... I am going to do JD Martinez. So this is the first pick I'm giving out today because we hit 2,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. JD Martinez over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. I'm also giving him out as a long ball, long shot of the day. So we're going to look up the odds on both of these to make sure we have the most current odds. But I do like JD Martinez today against Josh Fleming. He has good lifetime numbers against him. Again, I know he struggled this year against left-handed pitching, but I do like JD Martinez today. That said, if we go back to Mike Torres' question before we get those odds, just looking at the Rays, how they've done against right-handed pitching. Josh Lau, Yandy Diaz. By the way, Yandy Diaz is another guy to keep your eye on today for a hit. But that said, obviously, pretty good numbers overall. A couple hitters you're probably surprised that they're not a little bit higher. Franco, you expect him to be a little bit higher. Is Brandon Lau and Josh Lowe. I always get those two confused. But anyways, let's shift back over. If we look at the over-under, if we set it at 9 runs for the Dodgers, pretty consistent. 7-2-1 over their last 10. If I look at the Rays, same thing, 7-2-1 over their last 10. That said, I would see if you want to take it at the alternative line. Over 8.5 is going off at minus 145. Over 8.5 at minus 145. Mike, I think I like that one a little bit more today. So for that reason, if I were to take a overplay in this one, I would go over 8.5. I'll put that one up on the board as well. This is an in-show research play. We're gonna go Dodgers, Rays, over 8.5. I'm getting that at minus, what did we say, minus 130, minus 145. So that's a play I do like, given the trends of these two teams. And to your question, Mike, about Gavin Stone, bad numbers, good lineup. Also, Josh Fleming, there are a couple hitters in that Dodgers lineup I could see having good games. Mookie Betts, JD Martinez as well. Jorge, great to see you. We did have a good day yesterday, especially when it came to our NBA picks. So really excited about that. Hopefully we can duplicate that kind of success today. Now we're going to swap over, jump over, and look at some of these player prop bets really quick. We're focusing for the next 15 minutes or so really heavily on this Dodgers-Rays game. It's the first game to go off today. It is an 11:35 first pitch. It's on Peacock. You guys know I hate that first pitch at 11:35, but we got to do what we can in the time that we have before that first pitch comes down. Let's go to JD Martinez. First of all, look at what the implied probability is on JD Martinez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. 61%. We love it right there. Over 1.5's going off at minus 155. Bingo, we'll take it right there. So for everyone who is looking for my first pick of the day when it comes to a player prop bet, JD Martinez, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Love the implied probability on it. Love the opportunity that he has against Josh Fleming. And again, in surroundings he's familiar with in the Trop. So JD Martinez, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I am also going to look at him for a home run today. I put him as a long ball, long shot of the day. Best odds on it, plus 475. His implied probability is at 17%. Not bad. We like it at 20 and higher if we can ever get it there. But at 17, not bad. I'll certainly take the over the home run at 475. We throw that one up on the board as well. Now, there were a couple other players from this game that I wanted to jump into. The first of which was let's look at Mookie Betts as well. Mookie Betts this year has hit left-handed pitching well. Let's see on hits, runs, and RBIs for Mookie Betts. Once again, implied probability for Betts on over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, 62%, as I just said a moment ago. Love it there. I'm getting Mookie Betts over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 165, I believe. That's an in-show bet for us. Mookie Betts over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. And we're taking that at minus 160. Minus 160, so there's another bet for you for that early game between the Dodgers and the Rays. Mookie Betts over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 160. One more play for you. We're going to look at Yandy Diaz. Yandy Diaz, same thing. I'm looking at over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And once again, implied probability over that 60% threshold that we really like. That's going off at minus 155. So we're going to do Yandy Diaz over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs, and we're taking it at minus 155. Another good play. Yandy Diaz hits right-handed pitching really well. Love these plays. So those are some early picks for that first game of the day that has that first pitch at 11:35 today. Most of the other action is at that 1 o'clock normal start for a Sunday, but because of Peacock's deal with MLB, there's always one morning game. So Dodgers-Rays is the early game. You can see up here on our board, JD Martinez, we really like today. He has a good track record against Josh Fleming, the starting pitcher of the Rays, as well as Mookie Betts has hit left-handed pitching really well this year, and Yandy Diaz has hit really well against right-handed pitching. Gavin Stone on the side of the Dodgers has really struggled so far in his early start to the season. He has an ERA over 10, so we do expect runs in this game over 8.5 runs. That's where we're taking it. It's an alternative line. Right now, the actual line set at 9. We wanted that hook in our favor, so we took it over 8.5. Appreciate all of those who are watching, no matter the platform. If you're watching on Instagram Live and you don't want to see the behind-the-scenes view with this green screen behind me, hit the link in our bio. Go straight to our website or go straight to our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports, and that way you can watch the entire show with the picks and the research done right up on the screen in front of you. To all those watching on TikTok, thank you guys so much. Had a wonderful, having a wonderful time with you guys every single day talking sports and sports betting. Make sure you throw your questions and comments in the chat. Additionally, those watching on YouTube, we can see you guys as well, so always throw your comments in the chat. Always throw your questions in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, never feel like you need to be a passive viewer. We are standing by. We love taking your questions, and we really want to hear from you guys. We always hear from everyone on TikTok Live, but if you're watching on YouTube, we love engaging with you guys as well, so always let your presence be known. Kyle, there you go. Good afternoon or good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day, Kyle. Let us know what you're thinking about the games. Let us know your reaction to our picks. Love hearing from everyone on YouTube. Alexander, hope you're having a wonderful day. Did Boston cover last night? If you're talking about the Celtics, no, they didn't. The Celtics did not cover last night. The original spread was 3. We took an alternative spread at 5.5, and we took the Heat to cover. So no, the Boston Celtics did not cover last night despite winning. The Marlins, on the other hand, the Miami Marlins, man, look out for Jorge Soler. That dude is on fire right now. Jorge Soler has a home run in 5 straight days. He is on fire. Dylan, they took Martinez off on Prize Picks. Interesting. I'm curious to know if there's a reason for that. We'll have to look into it over the course of the next couple of minutes. By the way, if he doesn't play, we'll just get a DNP. Top Dog, great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Again, big shout out to all of those who are watching on YouTube. Me and my commentator curse. What do you mean, Alexander? I don't feel like we're a commentator curse. Given how often we cash tickets for you, I wouldn't say that. Mike Torres, Rays run line, first 5 plus 100 for minus half a run. I do like that. Oh yeah, ZZ, sorry, didn't see that confetti. Let's get into another pick. We've already thrown a couple on the board. I'm not going to give out any more picks around this game right now. That said, Mike, if I had to lean in a direction, I would lean towards the Rays today on the money line. The first 5, I understand why you like it, but that said, let's give out some more picks today. So the next pick we're going to give out, let's give out another long ball, long shot of the day. We're going to that Padres-Yankees game. I mentioned it a moment ago. Just because we gave out a pick yesterday and it didn't hit doesn't mean we're going to go away from it. If we think someone's a good opportunity to hit a home run, we're going to double down on it. There are a couple of those today. The first one, Juan Soto. He has a home, I believe he has 4 home runs in 5 games at Yankee Stadium, or 4 home runs now in 6 games at Yankee Stadium, because he didn't hit one yesterday. I'm going to double down on it. Juan Soto to hit a home run today. So we go to Juan Soto. By the way, Juan Soto has outstanding numbers against Garrett Cole. So just because Garrett Cole is on the mound, and look to it, implied probability on over a home run, for him to get a home run, 22%. So definitely one you want to keep your eye on. That's a good implied probability on home runs. So we're taking that at plus 360. Juan Soto to hit a home run at plus 360. I am going to double down on it, and I am going to take hits, runs, and RBIs with Juan Soto. Maybe it's not, the implied probability not strong. Let's look at bases really quick. Maybe that's a stronger play. Yes, we're going to take the bases over half a base, 62%, and we're actually getting at minus 165. I'm surprised they're only giving out half a base. So Juan Soto, I'll take that. No problem here. It is an in-show play, but Juan Soto over half a base? Like, I'm really surprised they're giving out that play. I'll explain in 1 second why I like that as much as I do. I'm getting that at minus 165. Okay, the reason I'm so crazy about this bet, if I go to looking at my notes, so Juan Soto in his career against Garrett Cole has 6 at-bats. In 6 at-bats, 4 hits in those 6 at-bats, 2 home runs, 1 double, 4 RBIs. So again, in 6 at-bats against Garrett Cole, Juan Soto has 4 hits, 3 are extra base hits. Really like that play today. Really like that play. Zoe for Life 34, appreciate you joining us. Love you throwing in your picks. By the way, if any of you guys watching on Instagram want to see our picks or research live on the show, go over to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports, and you can see it up all on your screen. By the way, we are trying something a little bit different, a little bit adding to what we offer. So we give out picks every time we hit 2,000 likes. We just gave out a pick for Juan Soto because of the confetti we got from ZZ. That's another way. We are also now doing celebrity picks. This is how we do it. There's an icon for sunglasses. If anyone gives that icon for sunglasses, not only will we see your pick on the board or on the comment section, we will also throw it up on our big board. So those like Alexander and others, they like to share their picks. We are going to make it available up here on the big board. You just need to use that sunglass icon, and we will put your pick up on our big board for everyone to see. It's up for everybody to decide they want to follow or fade, but I want to create some kind of celebrity shot, some celebrity pick, so you guys could also get your names up on the big board. Others could see your picks and your analysis and everything else. That said, ZZ just took this up with some more confetti, so we have more picks to give out. And we are going to going back to our Yankees-Padres game, we are going to take Harrison Bader over half a strikeout. I know this is an odd one. Harrison Bader over half a strikeout. I'm going to look this one up to make sure I'm getting the best odds on it. Harrison Bader, and we are going to strikeouts. Half a strikeout, minus 175. Look at the implied probability on this, 64%. Really like this play, getting it at minus 175. The reason I like a strikeout on Harrison Bader, Bader has faced Yu Darvish 10 times in his career. He doesn't have a hit, and he has 4 strikeouts. So once again, I like Harrison Bader over half a strikeout today. 10 at-bats lifetime against Yu Darvish. Doesn't have a hit. A 0.000 average. 4 strikeouts lifetime. I'll take Harrison Bader over half a strikeout today at minus 175. That's for ZZ. Thank you for hooking us up with our confetti. Again, every time we get the confetti, we give out a pick. For those who also are curious, we got a question here on YouTube from Top Dog about Yu Darvish and his total strikeouts today. Top Dog's asking about Yu Darvish over 5.5 strikeouts. So just jotting it down on my notes so we can keep track of it. And let's go do our research on it. We're going to look at Yu Darvish over 5.5 strikeouts. And checking out his total strikeouts. So interesting. The over does have the better implied probability at 54%. Definitely something that catches my eye. We dive into it a little bit more. Let's see how he's done. Okay, strong trend off the top. 5.5 has hit 4 of his last 5 games. 5 of his last 7. Certainly like that trend. The 2 games in which he missed, he was on the road. Something I do keep note of. He is a better strikeout pitcher at home. If I go up here and we look on the Outlier app, how he's done on the road this year, you can actually see not a strong trend. Not a strong trend. And that's why I like looking into the splits. So if I took it over his last few starts, it looks like a strong trend. But if I look at it on the road, now knock out this last game on the left, that's an October start against the Phillies. But let's look at this season alone. 3 of the 4 starts, he hasn't hit it. He has hit 5. So let's see what the alternative line is at 4.5. Over 4.5 is minus 295. That's not a good play for us. So we're kind of stuck here at the 5.5. That said, not feeling great about it. Let's go over. You see his strikeouts per 9 is at 9.5. Let's see lifetime. How have Yankee hitters done against him? I mentioned Harrison Bader. Again, these stats on Outlier are since 2018. Bader, again, doesn't have a hit against him. LeMahieu, 1 for 3. Just not good stats. Really nothing to drive us towards believing the Yankees are going to have a good offensive day. Looking at the ballparkpal.com website, in this game, you can see the Yankee Stadium, the likelihood of home runs is down, likelihood of extra base hits is down, likelihood of runs is down. So that really implies that the pitchers are in a good position. Let's now go to Fangraphs, and let's look at how the Yankees have done against right-handed pitching at home. And let's see if they're a high strikeout team. So the Yankees are one of the highest strikeout teams at home. They're 6th in the league against right-handed pitching at home. This is a tough one for me. This is really tough. I'm not going to throw it up on my big board, Top Dog, but it's tough for me because the trend's kind of split in 2 directions. Yu Darvish has been hot of late. If I look at how he's done over his last 5 starts, it's been a strong trend. But 3 of those 4 starts, or 3 of the starts in which he hit it, were at home. He's not at home. He's on the road. He's only hit this over on the road once. He's facing a Yankee team that strikes out a lot. Really tough play for me. That said, I think I would lean just slightly towards the over if I had to go in a direction, Top Dog. But what you're hearing is I'm really treating it as a coin flip. Anytime you hear me say that, it's one in which I would avoid. But this one, to me, there are signs to it point towards it working, signs that I don't like it. I'm kind of stuck in between. I just avoid it, Top Dog. Understand why you're going after it, but just not a strong enough play for me to look into it. I would lean slightly towards the over if I had to take it, but for me, it's not worth taking. Kyle, appreciate your question on YouTube. By the way, for all those on YouTube, if you have questions, comments, you want to throw in your opinion, put them in the comment section. We're here for all of it. Kyle asks, Eduardo Rodriguez over under strikeouts. Let's get to it. Eduardo Rodriguez on his strikeout total. First of all, the under has the stronger implied probability. First things first. Let's look at it from an under perspective. Interesting, the over has hit way more consistently. The over has actually been a very strong play so far this year when it comes to strikeouts for him. If you look at his strikeouts per nine, 8.9 for Eduardo Rodriguez. He is at home for this game. Let's see how White Sox hitters have done against him. Certainly a large enough sample size for us to see some things. Alberto, decent numbers. Berger, 1 for 2. Jimenez, 2 for 3. Nothing standing out that's too strong. How has he done at home? Hit or miss. What's interesting is the 2 games in which he had more strikeouts were actually against, the Mets and the Guardians. Not bad teams. When he did miss it, he was at 5. So the under, it's interesting that they say the under's the less is the higher probability. Again, let's look at the weather in this game. Weather really impacting the scoring in this game. Likelihood of home runs down 27%. Likelihood of extra base hits down 16%. Overall runs 13%. Wind is blowing out to right field, so something to keep note of if a left-handed hitter could get a pull, or if a right-handed hitter could go to the op. Again, let's look at let's look at the White Sox. Again, this is in Detroit, so let's look at how the White Sox have done on the road against left-handed pitching. Let's see how the White Sox have done. And they're 20th in baseball in strikeouts. On the road against left-handed pitching, 20th. So again, this is a tough one for me. Not getting good trend indications. Really a split decision on this one. I kind of want to take an alternative line. The problem is the only one that looks worth taking is over 4.5. So the question for Kyle, if you want to take anything on this, I would take over 4.5 strikeouts. The problem is where the line's being set. If I'm not taking alternative lines and I'm just taking the line where it was originally set at 5.5, I feel like that's a bit of a trap. So if you can get it, if you're willing to take the 4.5 at -200, -210, that's where I would take it, Kyle. But for me right now, much like our conversation a moment ago about you, Darvish, this feels like a real coin flip. It's one I may want to avoid because if there aren't strong indications, you just don't want to put your money down on a high risk. I will also note, Sundays, I believe, are one of the toughest. I believe it's the toughest day to bet on baseball because you're getting day games. You're getting a lot of teams that are at the end of their bullpen. They're kind of waiting on that Monday of rest. You're also getting teams that have faced each other in the series. And again, the bullpens may be worn down. Sundays, tough day to bet. Especially until it gets really warm. When we get into like July, I'll love it a little bit more because offense is a bit more prevalent. But especially early in the year, still, even in May, late May, Sundays can be a bit tricky because weather, how it impacts the ball. Sundays are a tough day to bet. So if you don't have strong conviction, if you don't have good trends, you may want to be a bit more careful today with your bets. You don't want to throw money around just because you have it or just because there's only baseball bets to be had. Be really smart about how you're betting on an MLB Sunday. It can be a bit of a trap play. I'm going to give out another play. We've hit 4,000 likes. I need to give out a pick. Duffel Bag, thank you for the basketball. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, Duffel Bag. We will get to your question in just a second if you want to throw it in the chat. Joseph, we'll get to your question as well. Just make sure you throw it in the chat. We'll get to your Marco Gonzalez. But Duffel Bag, love that you followed us last night on basketball. We did really well on our basketball plays last night. Hopefully we can be equally as successful on our baseball picks today. Okay, giving out another pick because we hit 4,000 likes on TikTok Live. And the next pick we're going to give out may surprise some of you. We're going to double down on this. We're going to make it a long ball, long shot of the day, as well as another one of our other picks. So for me, I am going to go with someone you may be surprised by, given that, he's facing Garrett Cole. I'm going to go Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter, long ball, long shot of the day, and I'm going to take Matt Carpenter on to get a hit. We'll also look at total bases on him. But Matt Carpenter has really good stats lifetime against Garrett Cole. I know they were teammates last year, but he has good stats lifetime against Cole. 43 at-bats, 14 hits all time. That includes 4 home runs, 1 double, 6 RBIs, 4 walks. He does have 7 strikeouts. But lifetime, Matt Carpenter, good stats against Garrett Cole. He's back at Yankee Stadium. I'm taking the home run at plus 520 for the home run. And we're going to look at Garrett Cole here. Hits, runs, RBIs. We're going to look at a couple things with here. We're going to look bases, over half a base. I'm willing to take it at plus 100. So Matt Carpenter, over half a base. We're getting that at even money, plus 100. I'm also going to look at Matt Carpenter, hits, runs, and RBIs. And hits. So let's go to hits, runs, and RBIs. Interesting. For him to get over half a base, he had a lesser implied probability than he does over half a hit, run, and RBI. By the way, keep in mind, that's over half a hit, run, and RBI. So actually, I'm going to take this play off the board. If they're saying I'm getting over half a hit for even money, but over half a hit, plus over half a hit, plus run, plus RBI, and I can get it that's a better play. I'm taking it at minus 150. Done. Take it. I'm also going to look at what he is to just get a hit. We were asking about bases. Then we looked at hits, runs, and RBIs for him to get a hit. Not worth it. I like the hits, runs, and RBIs the most. So that's what we just threw up on the board because we just hit 4,000 likes. Matt Carpenter, one more time in case any of you guys were curious. Matt Carpenter, lifetime against Garrett Cole. 43 at-bats, 14 hits. That's good for a 326 lifetime batting average. 4 home runs, 1 double, 6 RBIs, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. I really like the play. I also like the fact that Matt Carpenter, being back at Yankee Stadium, he knows the short porch. He's definitely motivated against his former team. Let's see if Matt Carpenter can hook us up today. 808 Blaker, Juan Soto. We have put that one up on our board, so hopefully we can cash on that one today. 808 Blaker, great to see you. Thanks for joining the show. ZZ, you just hooked us up with some confetti. We're going to give out another pick. For all of those who are watching, if you're curious about how we give out our picks, every time you hook us up with our live goal of confetti, we give out a pick. And every time we hit another 2,000 like benchmark on TikTok, we give out a pick. We are trying something new today. And that is, if you guys want to give out a celebrity pick, if any of you guys want your pick up on the screen, give us the gift of the sunglasses. We're going to try this. It's a brand new thing we're trying for today's show. We'll see how it goes, if any of you guys like doing it. If you guys want your pick up on the screen, give us the gift of those sunglasses, and we'll make that like a celebrity shot in a game of Beirut or beer pong, and we will go for it. How about that Celtics game last night, Jacob? Absolutely wild. I couldn't believe the Celtics choked it away in the fourth. Then I couldn't believe that the Celtics actually ended up winning. We did cash on both of our tickets for that game last night. We took Heat at plus 5.5, cashed on that. We also took the over at 205.5. So thank you very much, Jimmy Butler and Derek White, for cashing that at the very end of the game. But I ranted about it at the beginning of the show, not to a lot of love in our comment section, but I'm really disappointed actually in the Boston Celtics. I know some of you may be surprised by that. But for me, you should have won that game by 5-6 points without a problem. The fact that that became literally a last-second shot tells me the Boston Celtics have some reason for concern. How is it that on the last play, with the season on the line, Jason Tatum doesn't touch the ball, Jaylen Brown doesn't touch the ball? You have 2 All-NBA players, and still, when the game is on the line, the Boston Celtics are using Marcus Smart as a shooter more often. I love this Boston Celtics team. I have all year. But I am not assuming that 7.5, 8-point spread on Monday night is worth taking on the Celtics side. I'd rather be on the Heat side for that one. Anyways, we have another pick to give out because of ZZ's confetti. So let's give out another pick. On this one, we're going to go to Yoan Moncada. Yoan Moncada, giving out another pick here. Looking at Yoan Moncada stats. or looking at his odds rather. Not seeing him up on the board. Not seeing him up on the board. Let's see if we can reset it. Maybe he's not in today. If he's not in, we'll just take it off the board. Find a new pick. Loading up now. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you hit that follow button if you're watching on TikTok. Make sure you hit that follow button. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Butt Fumble Sports. Yeah, he's not up on the board, so we're going to have to find somebody else to go with. So instead, we are going to go with, believe it or not, Tony Kemp. Tony Kemp of the Oakland Athletics. Yeah, believe it or not, we are putting out an Oakland Athletics play. Tony Kemp. Oh, he's not up on the board either. Interesting. Okay, not having a lot of easy luck with our Outlier app just right now. Getting good odds on things. Let's go to Luis Ariz. We'll keep going until we find someone we can give out a pick for. Luis Ariz. And let's take a look at hits. Let's look at hits. Over at 71%, but we're not getting any good odds on it. Let's look at hits, runs, and RBIs. That we're getting better at 1.5. Let's see at total bases. I'm looking for the best one for Luis Ariz. It's 1.5 bases, so we don't like that. So we're going to go with hits, runs, and RBIs for Luis Ariz. Oh. We're going to go to hits, runs, and RBIs, and we're going to take that at minus 115. So Luis Ariz, over 1.5. Hits, plus runs, plus RBIs, and we're taking that at minus 115. Reasoning behind that play, left-handed hitting against Patrick Sandoval has a .324 batting average. Really like that play. Luis Ariz over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs today between that Marlins-Angels game. Kyle, how does the confetti work? Yeah, it's only on TikTok. If you guys subscribe on YouTube, we'll give out a pick. How about that? If you guys subscribe on YouTube, we'll give out a pick. If you are watching on YouTube and you do want to go over, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to go over to our TikTok account to make sure you're throwing in the confetti or anything else, there's a link in the description to take you to our TikTok account. ZZ is also mentioning that we have now hit 6,000 likes, so we have another pick to give out. As I earlier, the weather in this game, overall runs, and even more so for extra base hits. Additionally, it's a matchup of Yu Darvish against Garrett Cole, two really good starting pitchers. Love the matchup today. I'll take the under 8.5 runs between those two. Couple other trends for you. The under is 5-0-1 in the last 6 meetings between the two teams in New York. That obviously includes the games in this series so far. The under is 7-0 in the Padres' last 7 interleague road games. And the under is 4-0 in the Yankees' last 4 interleague home games. So for all of those reasons, because we've hit 6,000 likes, the pick we just gave out is Padres-Yankees under 8.5 runs. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, no matter hit that follow button wherever you're watching from. We love the support you guys show us. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Throw them in the chat. We did have a question on YouTube about Christian Javier strikeouts. So let's go to Top Dog and let's look at your question about Christian Javier strikeouts. So his total for strikeouts is set at 6.5. 6.5. Obviously, he's facing the Oakland Athletics. We always like seeing the Oakland Athletics as the opposing team. LRK425 is not in the chat right now, but we know how he feels about that. Christian Javier. A little bit more. Hasn't been as strong a trend half of the time. Let's look at how it's done on the road. Astros on the road for this one. Okay, 3 of the last 4. He's hit this. Pretty high, too. And against some good offenses. Angels, Mariners, Braves, Mariners, Angels. So, reason to be optimistic about this one at first blush. Let's now shift over and look at Christian Javier at his stats so far this year. Strikeouts per 9 set at 9.8. Pretty strong. And again, that's in a large sample size of 58 and 2/3 innings. Now looking at how Oakland hitters have done lifetime against Javier. These are close to normal, so just keep your eye on that. But I do like Christian Javier. I'm going to throw this one up on our board. I like it. Is there an alternative line I like it more? No, there isn't. So I will throw this one up on our board. We are going to take Christian Javier over, and we were taking that, I believe, at 6.5. 6.5 strikeouts at -125. So, answering the question we got on YouTube from Top Dog, appreciate you, Top Dog, and asking your question. We do like Christian Javier over 6.5 strikeouts at -125. If any of you guys have questions, no matter if you're watching on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or on YouTube, throw them in the chat. We're here for all of it. By the way, if you want to get some early research done on tomorrow night's NBA game or NHL game, feel free to ask the question. We're here for all of it. We have another hour and 10 minutes to go of our show, so plenty of time to dive in, give you all the picks you need, both for today's games as well as Memorial Day. It should be an unbelievable Monday night in Boston. The Boston Garden is going to be electric. I'll be surprised if that place doesn't come crashing down, given the energy and electricity in that building. Boston, they say it's the best arena for basketball. They say the fans are the craziest. We are going to see Monday night if that really holds true. Should be a really fun game. If you guys need help with your picks today, we're here for it. Throw your questions and comments in the chat. Like I mentioned earlier, we're trying a brand new feature. If any of you guys want to have your celebrity pick thrown up on the screen, give us the gift of the sunglasses and we'll throw it up on the screen. If you guys don't want to do that, that's fine too. Every time we get confetti, we give out a pick. When we hit 8,000 likes, we'll give out a pick. Of course, keep throwing your questions and comments in the chat. Okay, Motorola, you were asking about the hockey game tomorrow night. Okay, so the Dallas Stars did prevent elimination last night. They got that win. We weren't paying too much attention in our show yesterday to that game. But if you notice, Dallas Stars are the favorite for this one. Dallas Stars are the favorite. So let's dive into it from a Dallas Stars perspective. There are any strong trends that we really like about this matchup. In the head-to-heads, you can see Vegas. It's been pretty even, actually. It's been pretty even. No insights as of yet. Looking at injuries, nothing stands out. Now, let's go to covers.com. I'm going to go to covers.com, another website we use to look at trends. Great website. Free, by the way, for all those who are looking for free trends. IP Shade 45, I'll get to your question in just 1 second. But if we're looking at trends for this game, couple things stand out. First of all, the under is 8-0 in the last 8 meetings in Dallas. That stands out to me. That makes it immediately an impression upon me. The under as well is a hot trend. Under. We're going to go with the under. The under's the play I like from this one at first blush. We'll get to a game pick in a second. But under 5.5 goals has hit in 4 out of the last 5 games. Can we get it at 6.5? Is that available? Under 6.5 at minus 165 is a play I like. I'm going to throw this one up on our board. We're going to make this one a bit of a special play. This is for tomorrow night's game. This is the Golden Knights and Stars game. I like the under 6.5 goals. We're getting at minus 165. That's a play for that hockey game I do like. The alternative line of under 6.5. Really like that. Under 5.5 I would like as well. So to Motorola, I do like the under in that one. As for the game pick as well, still kind of waiting on some information to come in. I know the Golden Knights are 2-5 in their last 7 meetings in Dallas. Certainly makes an impression. The favorite, 4-1. The home team is 4-1. If I had to go in any direction based off of the trends, looks like I'm going with the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars look like the stronger trend play on this. But I'm not going to put that one up on the screen just yet. Going to wait to see if we can get some more information over the next 24 hours. So for me, the pick I would give out around this NHL game tomorrow night is the under 6.5 goals. Under 6.5 goals. IP Shade 45, ZZ, Jacob, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat. IP Shade 45, if you have any questions, make sure you throw them in the chat. I will answer it right away. 808 Blaker likes the Golden Knights. We'll see if you're right, 808 Blaker. Okay, got a question in from YouTube from Top Dog. Top Dog is asking about JP Crawford to get a hit. JP Crawford to get a hit. Let's look into it. Getting back into our player prop bets for today's MLB action. We're looking at JP Crawford to get a hit. JP Crawford. And you were asking about just to get over half a hit. The implied probability here, really strong at 66%. That's definitely one. IP Shade 45, we looked into Yu Darvish's strikeouts earlier in the show. What we said is it's a bit of a coin flip for me. So he has been decent, but in his last few games on the road, makes me question it a little bit. The Yankees do have a high strikeout rate at home against right-handed pitching. So IP Shade 45, if I had to lean in a direction, it is over on 5.5 strikeouts. But for me, it's a coin flip. It doesn't quite reach that 55% confidence level that I usually like. I'm kind of at 50-51%. So that's to answer your question, IP Shade 45. We did our research a little bit earlier, but I do, if I had to lean in a direction, it would be slightly towards the over. By the way, ZZ saying we already have 2 runs in the early game. We put the over as our early play. Unbelievable. So we're off to a very fast start in that first game of the day. Hopefully we're getting some good bet cashing opportunities in that game. So appreciate all of those who are with us, all those who are joining the show. There is one game that's going on right now that is an early game that just got off at 11:35. That's the Dodgers and the Rays. The 11:35 MLB Peacock game of the week. So anyways, going back to Top Dog's question on YouTube, JP Crawford over half a hit, 66% implied probability. Really love that. You can see it's been a really strong trend. 5 out of the last 6 games, he's gotten one. I'm going to take it. I'm going to throw it up on the board. Good call, Top Dog. We're taking JP Crawford over half a hit. And I believe we're taking that minus 198. Is that what it was? Minus 198. So to answer your question, Top Dog, I do like it. Appreciate all the questions. Kyle on YouTube is asking about the Blue Jays on the money line. Let's go to that. And then IP Shade 45, we're going to give out a gift. We're going to give out a pick because IP Shade 45 hooked us up with our live goal of that confetti. So first, we're going to look at the Blue Jays on the money line. Blue Jays on the money line. And then we'll get back into some of our picks of the day. Blue Jays on the money line. Man, this is a toss-up right here. Twins minus 105. Blue Jays minus 106 on the odds. So a true toss-up on this one. You can see the line movement on this. has shifted slightly down. Now, Berrios, 4.22 ERA this year. He hasn't been as good as he has been in years past. Kind of Alek Manoah and Jose Berrios are kind of the two stories of the year so far for me for the Blue Jays. Top of the end rotation starters who aren't delivering like we kind of expected, certainly like the Blue Jays expected. On the other side, Bailey Ober has been one of the great surprises of the year so far. 2.55 ERA, 3-1 record. Actually, we put out an article earlier this week on our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can check out our website, buttfumblesports.com. We put out blogs every single day. But actually, one of the articles we put out was about fantasy players that you should consider targeting. Fantasy players you should consider targeting in a trade. Bailey Ober was on that list. So Bailey Ober is someone that we've had our eye on here at Butt Fumble Sports. We really like him. He's impressed so far this year. Looking at the stats for these two lineups, Blue Jays so far this year against right-handed hitters, Whit Merrifield's hit the ball well, Bo Bichette's hit the ball well. By the way, Bo Bichette has a home run in 2 straight games. So remember a couple days ago when someone asked about should they take Bo Bichette on a long ball? We said no that day. Not only did he hit a home run that day, he's hit a home run in back-to-back days. So Bo Bichette's starting to get really hot. Against Bailey Ober, though, nobody really has a good sample size against or good numbers except Whit Merrifield. He's 4 for 8. So something to keep note of. But that strikeout percentage, 12.5, okay. On the other side, Berrios. How have Twins hitters done against Berrios? Buxton has good numbers. Christian Vasquez, good numbers. So, let's shift back over. And the Blue Jays, as of late, they've just been scuffling. We talked about it, though. Why have they been scuffling? They played really good teams. They played the Yankees. They played the Orioles. They played the Rays. Now they're playing the Twins. How are they doing now? They've actually had some decent games. I know they lost yesterday, but if I had to go in a direction on this one, first of all, it's not a pick I'm putting up on the board, Kyle, but if I had to go in a direction on this one, I would actually take the Twins on the money line. I like the starting pitcher more for Twins on the money line. So for that reason, I would go with the Twins on the money line more than the Blue Jays. Not a play that I really like. Probably one I would avoid altogether if I had my choice. Here are the picks that we have so far today, and we're being told by ZZ here on our comment section on TikTok Live that one of the picks that we've given out so far today is looking good so far. Dodgers Rays, we took the over 8.5. There are already 4 runs in that game. We were talking earlier about whether you should take the over in the first 5 innings. I did like that. Someone asked about the Rays in the first 5. I think I said I like that as well. We'll see. It's already 3-1 Dodgers. We'll see if the Rays can get going on it. But Josh Fleming, off to a tough start in that game, already given up 3 runs. Dodgers have a couple of men on base as well. IP Shade 45, Harper under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs versus Strider. He is 0-4 with 1 K against him. Very interesting. IP Shade 45. By the way, we have a couple picks to give out. Because we just got some more confetti. But I'm going to answer this question by IP Shade 45, and then I'll give out 2 more picks. 2 more picks coming, but first we're going to go to Bryce Harper. IP Shade 45 is looking to kind of fade Bryce Harper today, take the under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs because of his history against Spencer Strider. Interesting, the implied probability is higher on the over side. So first things first, IP Shade 45, interesting that the over is the stronger play. Let's look at it from the over perspective. I know what you said, but let's look at it from that perspective. 3 out of the last 5 this is hit, but he's missed on the last 2. Against the Braves, let's dial down the samples. Let's only look at it on the road. So pretty hit or miss on the road. He's only hit in 2 of the last 5 games against the Braves. Looking at stats, how the Phillies have done against Spencer Strider. You just mentioned it a moment ago, so I'm just bringing it back up. Harper 0-for-4 lifetime with the 1 strikeout. No trend here is suggesting that I should go against what your inclination is. So the answer I would give out to IP Shade 45's question is yes. I'd lean towards the under in this one. I'd lean towards the under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Bryce Harper. No alternative lines to be had, but I would lean towards the under. Okay, we have just reached the top of the hour. 1 full hour into our show. 1 hour left to go. A ton of picks yet to give out. A lot of fun yet to be had. Here are all the picks that we've given out so far in our show. We have Dodgers Rays on the over. That game is already underway. A couple of picks on that as well. We also have a couple of player prop bets for the Yankees Padres game. Looking all over the board, we have given out an NHL pick for tomorrow night. If you guys want any help with the NBA game tomorrow night, we're more than happy to look into those as well. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. And of course, hook us up with the confetti for our live goal. We are about to give out 3 more picks. IP Shade 45 and ZZ have been hooking us up with our live goal of confetti. So we are going to give out another 3 picks. 3 more picks for all of those who are watching. Get ready. Get your notes with you. We're about to hand out 3 more picks. We are going to go back to the Padres-Yankees game, and I am going to take the Padres plus 1.5 on the run line, and I am going to take that at minus 154. Here's my reasoning behind this one. Yankee hitters lifetime against Yu Darvish have just a 154 batting average, no home runs, 3 doubles, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Once again, Yankee hitters lifetime against Yu Darvish have a 154 batting average. Meanwhile, against Garrett Cole, Padre hitters lifetime only a 232 average, but 9 home runs, 7 doubles, 18 RBIs. Additionally, the Yankees are 1-4 in their last 5 home games. The Padres are 18-8 in their last 26 interleague road games versus a right-handed starter. One last fun fact for you. The Yankees are 1-4 in their last 5 Sunday games. So we're going to take the Padres on the run line. Padres plus 1.5 at minus 154. Deadpool, great to see you on Instagram Live. Don't usually see you there. I usually see you up on TikTok. Hope you're having a wonderful day. No matter where you guys are watching the show, hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're a follower and a member of this Butt Fumble Sports community, whether watching on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or on YouTube. We have more picks to give out, 2 more picks to give out, so let's continue to throw those up on the board. We're going to continue to give out MLB game picks. The next one we're going to give out is the Nationals on the money line. The Nationals on the money line at minus 115. We've been riding them in that series against the Royals, and it's been paying dividends. The reason we like the Nationals today, the starting pitching matchup is between Mackenzie Gore and Daniel Lynch. Mackenzie Gore was a highly touted prospect who was involved in that Juan Soto trade between the Padres and the Nationals last year. Gore on the road this year, 3.67 ERA, 3 home runs allowed. Opponents have a 2.52 batting average. However, Daniel Lynch, the starting pitcher of the Kansas City Royals, his stats at home this year, a 5.84 ERA, 10 home runs allowed, and opponents have a 3.05 batting average against. Royals just don't have good pitching, and it shows once again today. Daniel Lynch has been absolutely destroyed at home in Kansas City. Additionally, the Nationals are now 7-2 in their last 9 meetings against the Royals in Kansas City. The Nationals are also 5-2 in their last 7 interleague games. So for a number of reasons, I do like the Nationals today. I do like the Nationals. Plus, the Royals are 4-10 in their last 14 interleague home games versus a left-handed starter. A lot of trends that have us feeling good about this one. We're taking Nationals on the money line at minus 115. We have another pick to give out. We're not stopping. We're having a ton of fun right now. We actually have 2 more to give out because we've hit 10,000 likes. Thank you, ZZ, for letting us know. So we have a pick to give out to say thank you to IP Shade for the confetti, and another pick to give out because of we've hit 10,000 likes. So let's go to 2 more picks. We're going to baseball for both of them because that's where the action is today. We are going to take the Giants on the money line. Giants on the money line. We're taking that at minus 124. Minus 124 on the San Francisco Giants on the money line. Our reasoning behind that play. 2 pitchers in this matchup today, Alex Cobb and Colin Rea. Alex Cobb this year, Cobb is having a phenomenal season actually. A 2.17 ERA, 5 home runs allowed, 14 walks to 52 strikeouts. He's pitching really well today. Rhea on the other side, Colin Rhea at home, 5.03 ERA. And opponents have a 274 batting average. So I really like Alex Cobb today. Additionally, here are some trends we like. The Giants are 5-2 in their last 7 meetings against the Brewers in Milwaukee. Meanwhile, the Giants are also 8-1 in their last 9 games versus a right-handed starter, while the Brewers are 1-5 in their last 6 games with a total set between 7 and 8.5 runs. Giants are also 4-1 in their last 5 last 5 road games. We like the Giants on the money line. Giants on the money line at -124. -124. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Every time we hit another 2,000 like benchmark, we give out another pick. We've hit 10,000 likes, so we're going to give out another pick, another MLB game pick. And this one is going to be the Cubs on the money line. Cubs on the money line at -148. I know there are a lot of Cubs fans who are losing faith in manager David Ross and are starting to not believe that this Cubs team is going to go anywhere despite their additions in the offseason. But I do like the Cubs today. Here's the reason why. 2 pitchers in this matchup for the Reds, Graham Ashcraft, Drew Smyly on the bump for the Cubs. Ashcraft in day games, Graham Ashcraft has a 6.31 ERA, 2 home runs allowed. Opponents have a 2.67 batting average against him. Meanwhile, Drew Smyly in day games has just a 1.62 ERA, and opponents are hitting just 1.40. So the reason we like this one is the 2 starting pitchers, how they perform in day games. I mentioned to you guys earlier, Sunday is always a risky day to bet in baseball with those early games on Sunday, what the weather is going to be like. Looking at the weather in this game, obviously not expecting a lot of offense. The likelihood of runs, home runs, extra base hits, and hits are all down. But I do like the starting pitcher for the Cubs, Drew Smyly. He is definitely why I'm taking this one. Additionally, the Reds are 0-6 in their last 6 games on Sunday. Again, I know that seems random, but Sunday games have their own little trends to them. So the Reds are 0-6 in their last 6 Sunday games. I'll ride that trend. I'm going to take the Cubs on the money line at -148. We just dropped a ton of picks on you guys because you guys hooked us up with our live goal as well as hitting that like button. So those are all of our picks up there on the screen so far in our show. Make sure you continue to hit that like button. Every time we get confetti for our live goal, we also give out a pick. Okay, to find K-line, I was looking at the White Sox on the money line. I ended up not taking it. I am a little bit hesitant about that game. So to find K-line is asking about that White Sox game with Dylan Cease on the bump. If I go to that White Sox game against the Tigers, the reason is I think Eduardo Rodriguez is a pretty good opposing pitcher. So I feel like it's a good matchup of 2 stud starting pitchers. So even though I do like Dylan Cease today, maybe from a fantasy standpoint, I'm not as confident about it as a money line play. So I actually avoided that one. I'm not touching it. Dylan Cease, not great numbers this year. Eduardo Rodriguez actually has the better stats if I go lifetime against Dylan Cease. Detroit hitters don't have good numbers against him. So again, that's why I like Dylan Cease if I'm taking him in fantasy. But when it comes to a bet, not as crazy about it to find K-line. So kind of avoiding it there. Appreciate all those who are watching on Instagram Live. If you're watching on Instagram Live and you want to see our research done up on the screen in front of you or our picks put up in front of you, hit the link in our bio. Go to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. That way you can see all of our picks, all of our research, all of our analysis up there in front of you. So whether you want to follow us or fade us, you are made smarter, you're informed, so you can make the best picks possible. Again, the Instagram Live is a behind the scenes green screen view. If you want to see the show in the best way possible, hit the link in our bio, go to our YouTube page, Butt Fumble Sports. Appreciate all of you being with us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. ZZ is telling us that Dodgers-Rays game has already gone to a 3-3 game. Wander Franco has been on fire in this game early on. So already a very fast start in this game between the two teams. Chris Taylor and Max Muncy both have home runs. L Chappers, I think both experiences are good. YouTube and TikTok. I think YouTube is probably just as good as TikTok. So L Chappers, if you want to stay on TikTok, that's totally fine. If you're watching on YouTube, we think that experience is great. We just think Instagram Live is probably, because you're getting the behind the scenes, it's a much different viewing experience. Appreciate all of you being with us. Throw your questions in the chat. We're here to do your research for you. We have 50 minutes left of our show. It is amazing how fast this show goes every day. We are live for 2 hours every single day. We are an hour and 10 minutes into our show, and it is flying by. Ask your questions. We're here to do the research. So whether it's about MLB games today or the NHL or NBA game tomorrow night, we're here to help you guys out with your sports betting, your daily fantasy sports, whatever you guys need. One programming note. Tuesday night, we will have an NFL show at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday night, we are doing an NFL season preview show in which we're going to go through every game of every week and determine who's going to win. So we're going to come out with win totals for every team in the NFL and where every team is going to finish in their division. So if you like betting on NFL futures, join us Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have an NFL 2023 NFL preview show for all of those who love betting on futures bets. ZZ says we just hit 12,000 likes. Because we have hit 12,000 likes, we're going to give out another pick. Another pick is coming your way. We are going to give out another long ball, long shot of the day. For all of those who are new to the show, the long ball, long shots of the day are our players we like to hit a home run. I would recommend putting half a unit down. On those. Put a full unit down on the picks we like. Put half a unit down on the home run, long ball, long shots of the day. Here's our next long ball, long shot of the day. It is going to be Pete Alonso. He's burned us a little bit. So we took Pete Alonso in the Friday game at Coors Field between the Mets and the Rockies. He didn't hit a home run that game. We didn't take him yesterday. He did hit a home run. We're going to double back on it today. Austin Gomber is on the mound for the Rockies. That dude is a home run waiting to happen. He's a left-handed pitcher who is a home run waiting to happen. Look at the implied probability over a home run. 24%. 24% on the implied probability on the home run. Gotta take it. We're going to get this actually at really good odds thanks to Caesars Sportsbook. Again, for all of those who are new to the show, we use this sports betting app called Outlier. Outlier is a great sports betting tool. If you want access to it, DM us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We'll send you a free link for a free 7-day trial for it. You do need to subscribe after that. But Outlier is an outstanding tool where I don't just see all the stats and analysis, but I also get to comparison shop amongst the sports books so I can find the best place to take the bet. On this one, Caesars Sportsbooks at plus 325. Yes, please. We'll take that in a heartbeat. So plus 325. And again, I love that the implied probability on this one is at 24%. For home runs, that's really strong. L Chappers, if we get 1 subscriber on TikTok Live, we will give out our confidence level on every pick of the day. So that's the way we give out our confidence level. L Chappers, if you subscribe to our TikTok account, we will give out our confidence level on every pick we've given out today. Every pick. Okay, we're not just taking Pete Alonso. As you guys know, when we take a home run play, we also look for hits, runs, and RBIs or total bases, whichever one we can get at 1.5. We can't get the 1.5 for the hits, runs, and RBIs, so we won't take that. That's going off at 2.5. But at total bases, it is going off at 1.5. Strong implied probability. I can get that at minus 135 thanks to MGM. So I will take that. Pete Alonso. That's Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso over 1.5 bases. And I'm getting that at minus 135. Thanks to the comparison shopping feature, I can see BetMGM offers that. Appreciate all of those who are watching the show. Make sure you throw your questions and comments in the chat. If you guys have any questions about today's action or tomorrow night's betting action, we're here for it. Deadpool, I can't believe Miami lost. I'm worried that they won't win the series. If I'm a Heat fan, I would be worried. But if I'm a Celtics fan, I have my own concerns as well. Celtics really should have won that game comfortably. The fact that it actually came down to the wire, I know it's a devastating loss for the Miami Heat, but I actually have more confidence that the Miami Heat can bounce back than that the Boston Celtics will be in a blowout. A lot of people right now think the Celtics are going to be in a blowout. I don't. I think this is going to be another final 2-minute kind of game. So if I had to go in any direction for tomorrow night's game, I'm taking the Heat to cover the 7.5 runs. Heat to cover 7.5 runs. ZZ, are you telling me that we have already cashed? We have. Unbelievable. So Wander Franco has been on fire in this game. The Rays are on fire. We talked about Gavin Stone has a bad ERA. We are already cashing a ticket. Unbelievable. So in these day games, we've actually done pretty well in our long ball, long shots of the day. Haven't hit on JD Martinez just yet. But I get to do my favorite thing of the day, and that's to put these dollar signs next to one of our picks. We are 1 for 1 already today. Cashing a ticket. Isn't it fun to put up a cash ticket right up there on the board? So already our first MLB game pick of the day. The first pick we gave out today was Dodgers Rays over 8.5 runs. That is already cashed. Funny though, Mookie Betts, Yandy, Diaz, and JD Martinez, all of them are hitless so far. So we got our game pick right, but let's see if we can cash on our player prop bets. So I'm not gonna pat myself on the back too hard. We cashed on our MLB game pick in the first 2 innings, in the first half hour of the show. However, we still have some player prop bets that we hope are cashing. So funny how you can pick some things correctly, and yet you're still waiting on others to come in. But doing well so far, ZZ. Thanks for keeping us up to date on this score. Unbelievable the kind of offense in that game. Dodgers Rays off to a really fast start. By the way, the reason I liked this over one, the reason that I love this play is actually because it's an 11:35 game and it's on Peacock. Now, if you guys are loyal viewers of the show, you know for those 11:35 games, I usually like to go with the under. You got to think early wake up. Hitters usually don't have batting practice. Usually the weather is against the hitters as well. Usually take the under. But I went in the other direction today, and that was because the starting pitching matchup. Gavin Stone had a terrible ERA so far this year. Josh Fleming, the starter for the Rays, is facing a couple hitters who have a good history against him and against left-handed hitters in JD Martinez and Mookie Betts. And plus, we went to covers.com. For all those who are unaware of this website, covers.com is a great tool. It's free, by the way. Covers.com is an outstanding tool. You can look up trends. This is where we get a lot of our trends from. So I'm looking now at the Padres-Yankee game as an example, but you can see the trends and you can see which trends are hot and which are not. So by the way, you think I like the under in this game? I took the under. One of the picks we put up on our board was the under in the Yankees-Padres game. Look at the trends. The trends are all hot towards the under. That was one of the things that was driving us towards that play. We looked at the trends on that Dodgers-Rays game. All of the trends were pointing towards the over. We did our research before the show. We showed you guys that same trend analysis during the show earlier. We hit on the over immediately. It is 7-3. We cash on over 8.5 immediately. Isn't it nice to be able to put that dollar sign cash up there on the big board? You know I love doing that. Okay, ZZ, we've just hit 14,000 likes. 14,000 likes for all of those hitting the like button on TikTok. Thank you so much for supporting us. By the way, for those watching on YouTube, you can get in on the action. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, but just once. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, but just once. If you're watching on TikTok, hit it as many times as you like. And of course, if you're watching on Instagram Live, hit that like button as well. We love seeing you guys on Instagram Live. Appreciate you watching the show. We have another pick to give out. This will be another long ball, long shot of the day. And this is going to be a very long ball, long shot if you get my drift. Mike Zunino, not somebody a lot of you guys are probably aware of, the catcher of the Cleveland Guardians. Let's check out his stats for today, or check out his odds rather. I'll get to his stats in just a minute. So Mike Zunino to hit a home run today, plus 470. Plus 470. And here's the reason why. So Mike Zunino, in his career, Mike Zunino will be facing... He's facing Jordan Montgomery. He's facing Jordan Montgomery, the left-handed pitcher of the St. Louis Cardinals. Mike Zunino, lifetime against Jordan Montgomery. 9 at-bats, 3 hits, 3 home runs. Let me repeat that. 9 at-bats, 3 hits, 3 home runs. Mike Zunino, if he's ever gotten a hit against Jordan Montgomery, it's been a home run. I gotta ride it. He's 3 for 9, and all 3 hits are home runs. I gotta ride it. So Mike Zunino, plus 470. We're putting that one up on the board. I will look at what he's getting on total hits and bases. So over half a hit. I'm getting that at minus 120. I will take that. So we're going to take Mike Zunino. Over half a hit at minus 120. We're also going to look at hits, runs, and RBIs and bases as well. Hits, runs, and RBIs. The under has the stronger implied probability, so I won't play that one. But if we go to bases, I can get over half a base. The over has the stronger implied probability. I'm doubling down on Mike Zunino today. Believe it or not, I like the stats against Jordan Montgomery. Mike Zunino, over half a base. I'm getting that at minus 130, I believe. Yep, minus 130. So Mike Zunino, maybe one you guys don't want to tail. Maybe you guys are a little bit wary of a catcher for the Guardians. I'm willing to ride that trend. Mike Zunino, lifetime against Jordan Montgomery, 3 for 9, and all 3 hits have been home runs. Let's see if let's see if Lightning can strike for a 4th time, and let's see if Mike Zunino can go yard. So anyways, those are our 5 long ball, long shots of the day. We've thrown those all up on the screen now. We have under 40 minutes left of our show. Keep hitting that like button. Of course, keep hitting that, hit that confetti. Every time we get the live gift of confetti, we give out another pick. We'd love to give out some more over the course of the next 40 minutes. Deadpool, what's your thoughts on the conspiracy theory on the last 3 seconds on Jimmy's foul? So people were talking to me about like the NBA added time when Jimmy Butler was fouled by Al Horford, and it's like, yeah, the NBA does that all the time. When they went to review whether Jimmy Butler, 1, whether it was a foul, stupid by the Celtics to review that, but 2, to see if his feet were behind the 3-point line, they saw what time the foul was actually committed. They saw that there was extra time on the clock. I know it's awful for Heat fans that the extra time ultimately led to Derek White having the time to put up that game-winning shot, but I don't think there's a conspiracy theory behind that. Nope, not going to get me to bite on it. Parks, yeah, we did well. Our first pick that we gave out today, we said Dodgers Rays on the over. We've cashed on that already. Still waiting on our player prop bets to come through. We'd like to see JD Martinez, Mookie Betts, and Yandy Diaz get in on the offensive action, but we'll obviously see over the course of the show whether we can get all of these tickets to cash. Appreciate all of those watching, whether on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, or on YouTube. Appreciate all the support you guys show us. Make sure you're throwing in your comments, questions, reactions, especially if you're watching on YouTube and TikTok. Love hearing from you guys. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. We'll get to them right away. Again, we have a ton of time left in this show. Bingo. We love it. ZZ just says JD Martinez has an RBI hit. I see that up on the board. It is 7-4, so right as we were saying it, we have now cashed our first 2 tickets of the day right away. What a start for us today. Thank you, JD Martinez. Thank you, JD Martinez. So we've hit on the over Dodgers and Rays already. We've already hit on JD Martinez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs today. ZZ, I hope you guys are following me today. We are red hot to start the show. Obviously, I am going to pump the brakes. I'm going to be humble. Every time you get off to a hot start, the seesaw usually comes back to the other side. Water finds its level, so we're not going to say we're going to have a perfect day. But certainly nice to start off the day, cashing a couple of tickets, especially with you guys watching. That way you guys have maybe some confidence to take some of our picks. Make sure you're helping us out with our live goal. Every time you guys hit that confetti, and we get some confetti, we give out a pick. You guys want more of these picks. You can tell they're hot today. Okay, Big Dave Big Dave is asking about the Guardians game. Let's go look at that game. Let's go look at the Guardians game. So, Cardinals, Guardians. Interestingly, the Cardinals are the favorite in this game. Starting pitching matchup for this one. Jordan Montgomery. ERA is a bit higher than I'd like at the 4.5. Plus, he's 2-6 on the year. Not great. Meanwhile, Gaddis, really bad numbers. That's the reason, actually, the Cardinals are really favored today. Really bad numbers. Gaddis had a bad start to the year. And again, only in 25 and 2/3 innings, he has an ERA over 5.2. Not what we want to see. Looking at the stats amongst the two teams, if I look at right-handed hitting, how St. Louis hitters have done against right-handed pitching, they actually don't have one hitter above 300, which is a bit surprising for me. On the other side, how have the Cleveland Guardians done against Jordan Montgomery? We showed this earlier. You already know this. I love Mike Zunino today. He has unbelievable numbers against Jordan Montgomery. But then you look, Jose Ramirez has good numbers. Ahmed Rosario, Stephen Kwan. So this may be one, if I had to go in any direction, I wouldn't take either team on the money line. I might take, part of me wants to take the Guardians on the run line, but then I just remembered that Gaddis is on the mound for Cleveland. I have to avoid this one. So Big Dave, I know you asked about it. We just did our research, but this isn't one I have confidence in, this Guardians Cardinals game. Let's look at the weather. The weather for this one. So interestingly, home runs are going to be down. If we look at how weather is going to impact this game, home runs are going to be down, but extra base hits are going to be up, overall hits are going to be up, and runs aren't as far down as they could be given that overall home runs is way down. So that said, really interested. Let's go to covers.com. Let's see if there are any trends for this game that really stand out. So first of all, the first trend that stands out, the under is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. Again, the weather would suggest that trend's going to continue, but the starting pitching doesn't suggest that. These two starting pitchers have higher ERAs. I know the under's the stronger trend, but I can't even fall in love with that either. You see, the over is the stronger trend if we look at the individual teams. Under is the stronger trend if we just look at the Guardians. Let's look at the two matchups. Oof, this is a tough one. Okay. To answer your question, Big Dave, this is how I would play this game. If I had to give a pick, I am not putting this up on my big board, but if I had to give a pick, it would be Cardinals on the money line, Guardians on the run line plus 1.5. So once again, it would be Cardinals on the money line, Guardians on the run line plus 1.5. That's how I would play that game. Vicky, thank you for the rose. Vicky, if you have a question, throw it in the chat. If you guys give a gift, we answer the question. ZZ, do we have any other total plays that we like today? We've given out most of the picks that we like when it comes to MLB game picks. Feel free to ask a question about an individual game, and we'll dive into it. Appreciate all of you joining us. Hope you're having a lot of fun watching the show. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. That way you know every time we're live, and you can always catch us. We're live every single day for 2 hours. Every single day for 2 hours. Parks is asking about the Padres. Look at our big board, and you'll see we're taking the Padres on the run line. Padres plus 1.5. Okay, we're getting a question about Garrett Cole on strikeouts. Let's look at Garrett Cole on his over-under strikeout total. So looking at Garrett Cole, and then we'll go to strikeouts. Again, we're using this Outlier app, a fantastic tool. We're looking at the strikeouts. First of all, 7.5 is way too high. 7.5 as the line is way too high. So even seeing this at first blush, I don't like the over. The implied probability says the under is the stronger play. 7.5 is just too high for me. Let's look at this again. Look at the trend. 7.5 is a ridiculously high total. I do not like it. That's way too high for me. If I had to go anywhere, it would be on the under. However, let's see if we can get an alternative line, because there may be an opportunity to take Garrett Cole over strikeouts at an alternative line. Nope, there isn't. Over 6.5 is still a bad line. I wouldn't do it. Under 7.5 is the only play I would consider for this one. Let's look at how the Padre hitters have done against Garrett Cole in their careers. Not good stats. Matt Carpenter actually does. It's just not, since 2018 they haven't faced each other. But Carpenter actually does have good stats lifetime. Juan Soto has good stats. I don't know why this isn't on the board. Juan Soto actually does have stats against Garrett Cole. I don't know why this isn't showing up on the Outlier app. A little frustrating there. But because if I go to Garrett Cole, I look at his stats lifetime, Juan Soto's right there. We put Juan Soto up as a long ball, long shot of the day pick earlier because look at his stats against Garrett Cole. So I don't know why the Outlier app is saying they haven't faced each other. Maybe it hasn't been since 2018. I thought it had. How have they not faced it? That doesn't make sense. So something's off there. But Juan Soto has faced him. So anyways, look at the strikeouts. It is 41 in 142 at-bats against the Padres. Let's look at Padres. Let's go to Fangraphs. We're going to Fangraphs. Come on now. Waiting for Fangraphs to jump up. We go to Fangraphs. We're looking at right-handed pitching. Padres, how have they done against right-handed pitching on the road? Padres are very middle of the pack. Padres are 14th in the league in strikeouts against right-handed pitching at home. For me, I wouldn't touch Garrett Cole strikeouts. The only place I would take it is on the under. If I had to go Garrett Cole strikeouts, I would take the under 7.5. I would not touch the over. Would not touch the over. Appreciate all of you joining us. Getting Colorful Carol watching on YouTube. Carol, so appreciate your support. Carol, you're one of our favorite viewers. Thank you so much, Carol, for all the support you show us behind the scenes, on screen. Appreciate Carol, and of course, appreciate Blease. Mike Zunino. Mike Zunino is absolutely someone to check out today. We love Mike Zunino. He's got great stats today. We put him out as a pick earlier. But Colorful Carol, by the way, one of the most creative people we know, really big in the NFT space. You want to check her out. Colorful Carol, great to see you in the chat today. Hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful Sunday. Big shout out to Blease as well. I just want to give a big shout out to all of our very loyal followers and viewers. I know there are a lot of you who make us a part of your day every single day. Really appreciate you. Parks, Vicky, ZZ, Big Dave, obviously IP Shade 45, Deadpool, LRK425, L Chappers, great to see you today. Just amazing the kind of support you guys show us. Jacob Potter, great to see you today. Wonderful Duffel Bag. Of course, those on YouTube as well. Great to see Top Dog, Kyle, Anthony, Dante, Mark, Will, Jeff, Haley. So great to see all of you watching. And of course, those watching on Instagram Live as well. Jose, Laidback, Taylor, Tyler, Lakers, Dodgers 2018, Too Fine, K-Line, Steven, Frank. Great to see all of you watching. Appreciate all the support you guys show Butt Fumble Sports. Astros versus A's, 86% on the money, 94% on the bets. Big Dave, you know there's we have these notes that we put up on the screen. You can see when everyone likes the same bet, we usually try to avoid it. That doesn't apply to when the Oakland Athletics are playing. So Big Dave, we can put that one up on the board as well. I'll actually make this one another one of our in-show bets. We are going to take, and I'm going to put this one up on the board. We'll show it. I'm definitely considering the run line. That's why I'm going to show it here. And that is the Houston Astros against the Oakland Athletics on the run line, the -1.5. This has just been too consistent. It's just been too consistently hitting. 5 out of the last 6 times these two teams have met, the spread has covered on the 1.5. Again, for those curious, the starting pitcher today for the Oakland Athletics, Waldichuk, actually had a better start against the Astros than he has. Usually his numbers were better against the Astros than they have been the rest of the year, and it was still a 5.4 ERA. So for that reason, Christian Javier on the mound for the Astros, another bad starting pitcher on the mound for the Athletics. we will take the Astros on the run line. Astros minus 1.5 at minus 155. Again, that's the Astros to cover on the run line at minus 155. We've been cashing on that so consistently. We'll play it again today. So for all of those who want our MLB game picks, they're up there on the screen. We've actually already cashed on one of them. So we are just having a lot of fun today, having a lot of fun cashing already a number of tickets. We actually have 2 cash tickets already in our show. We have 20 minutes left of the show, 25 minutes left of the show. So make sure you're throwing in your questions, your comments. Make sure you're throwing in everything that you need to have a successful Sunday of betting. And by the way, if anyone wants to look ahead to the NBA or NHL playoff games tomorrow night, just throw your question in the chat. We're here to do all the research here to help you guys out. So Butt Fumble Sports, we're here to help you out with your fantasy and sports betting action. Make sure you throw your questions in the chat. John, you're asking about NASCAR. We actually have our NASCAR expert who put out his picks. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. On our website, buttfumblesports.com, we have the ultimate preview for the NASCAR race today, the Coca-Cola 600. Go to our website right now. Do not miss it. We have winner picks. We also have picks to finish in the top 10, and we have head-to-head matchup picks. I just want to say this. I am not someone who gives out my personal picks. If you guys watch the show, you know I give out trends. I look at data. I look at stats. Our NASCAR picker, our NASCAR analyst is unbelievable. He crushes on his NASCAR picks. He is an expert in driving and in auto racing. So make sure you go to our website, check out his article. NASCAR picks are there. You do not want to miss it. It is absolutely the place to go. Okay, getting back to answering your questions for our show today. Big Dave is asking about Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent on 3-pointers. Let's go look at it. First of all, Gabe Vincent on over points, just go with it. It is cashed in every game in the series. I don't know what the total is set at, but I guarantee that is a great play. Let's go to our NBA, and let's look at 3-pointers. You're looking at 3-pointers for Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin. So let's look at 3-pointers for those two. We go to 3-pointers. Let's look at Caleb Martin first. So interestingly, the over doesn't have the stronger implied probability on over 2.5. That kind of surprises me given how he's been shooting. Let's look at it from an over perspective. He did hit it last game. He had missed it the previous 2. Looking at the series so far, 4 out of the last 6. Interesting to note. By the way, here's what's most interesting to me, Big Dave. In every game the Heat won, he has had over 2.5 3-pointers. And by the way, if we think that the Heat should have won last night, let's say Derek White's shot doesn't go in, we would have said Caleb Martin getting over 2.5 hits, or over 2.5 3-pointers, means the Heat win the game. So an interesting correlation there. I know obviously they lost last night, but they had a lead with 0.3 seconds left. So you got to think this is a pretty interesting trend. If you think Caleb Martin's going to go over this number, over 2.5, I'd double down and I'd also take the Heat to win the game. Seems like a good correlation. However, let's look at him on the road. Larger sample size, 3 out of the last 5, not huge. Head-to-head against the Celtics. Interestingly, only games 4 and 5 has he hit on the road against them, so not a great trend. However, again, in the series, 4 out of 5. For me, it's not a strong play, Dave. If I had to go in a direction, I probably lean slightly towards the over. Slightly towards the over. Can we get an alternative line? 1.5 at minus 250 is a great play. If you're willing to take it, Big Dave, if you're willing to take it, say you're putting this in a parlay, like a same game parlay on FanDuel or DraftKings, this is the best play. Caleb Martin over 1.5 3-pointers at minus 250. That has been hitting in every game this series. So I'm going to put that up on the board. You guys may not like it because the odds are where they are, but what I would say is that might be a good play for you guys in a parlay. So just because it's a long shot play doesn't mean it's one that you should ignore. Caleb Martin over 1.5 3-pointers made. We're taking that at a ridiculous, is it minus 210? minus 250. I know that's a stupid odds spot. I know a lot of you are like, come on, Butt Fumble, you can do better than that, and we will. But if you want to throw another leg into a parlay, that is hit in every game this series. We have to acknowledge the trend. We can't ignore it. Okay, you also asked about Gabe Vincent on 3-pointers. We'll also get to your 13.5 point line. So let's go to 3-pointers and look at Gabe Vincent. We'll also get to his point total as well. Again, the under is the stronger play on the implied probability. Let's look at it from an over perspective. Again, really interesting. It's been a bit of a hit or miss play throughout the series. Again, same thing as Caleb Martin. When he's hit it, when he's hit the over, the likelihood of them getting the win is pretty high. By the way, ZZ is telling us Yandy Diaz has an RBI hit. Yes, he does. It is an 8-7 game in that Rays Dodgers game, but we have now hit. We gave out 4 picks for that game. We've cashed on 3 of the 4. What a great start for us today. We gave out the over in that game. That cashed in the second inning. We gave out JD Martinez. That cashed. We gave out Yandy Diaz. That cashed. We actually have 2 more picks on that game. Mookie Betts on hits, runs, and RBIs, and JD Martinez on a long ball, long shot of the day. But we are 3 for 5 on that game. 3 for 4 if we don't include the home run pick. We are red hot to start the day. What a great start. Okay, looking at Gabe Vincent, we look at on the road. Not as strong a play. Again, the ankle injury has me a bit concerned. If I had to go in one direction, I would avoid this play. I would take the under. I'd lean slightly towards the under. Not a strong play for me. Not a strong play for me. Yeah, ZZ, a lot of ball to be played in that Rays Dodgers game. Glad we took the over. Okay, let's look at Gabe Vincent on his point total. Looking at Gabe Vincent on the point total. The question we got from Big Dave was 13.5. The implied probability suggests the over is a slightly stronger play. It's hit in 3 straight games that he's played in. Love that. Definitely would go there. Big Dave, I would take Gabe Vincent over 13.5 points. If I could, alternative line, over 12.5 is even better. So if I like 13.5, I love 12.5. But the answer is I do like that play. I do like that play. If you had to go in a direction on Gabe Vincent on total points, Big Dave, I would lean towards the over. Good play. I'll throw that one up on the board just so you guys can see it. Gabe Vincent, over 13.5 points. It's been a consistent play in the last 3 games. I know you're getting it at slim odds, minus 111. If you took it, I'd also take it at over 12.5 points. And I'd take that over 12.5 and minus 154. Minus 154. So I would double down on it, take it on both sides of it. It's been a strong play. I like both of them. Big Dave, I like it. I like it, Dave. Have a lot of fun with your parlays. However, Big Dave, I do want to make note. This is something I always stress to you guys. If you are putting together parlays, also try to put together those parlays to break out the parlay and put down some individual bets as well. I would hate for you to only bet parlays and to come up empty. So also put down some individual bets as well. Caesar, what sports book lets you take a combination of runs, hits, RBIs? I believe DraftKings and FanDuel both do. If you do Bovada, you can only take it individually, but I believe DraftKings and FanDuel let you double up on those hits, runs, and RBI bets. Appreciate all of those joining us. We have 15 minutes left of our show. Oh, Big Dave saying not FanDuel. Okay, so just DraftKings. I know DraftKings does. So interesting that FanDuel doesn't. Wow. Those sports books need to get on that. Too bad. Too bad. Really disappointing. Appreciate all of you guys with us. We have 15 minutes left of our show. 15 minutes left of our show. We haven't hit our live goal yet. Let's see if we can get 4 pieces of confetti. We want to hit our live goal for the show. We have 4 more picks to give out. Let's hit our live goal. So hit that live goal. Help us out with our picks. We want to make sure we hit our live goal. Every time you hook us up with the confetti, we give out a pick. That said, we also offered to do a celebrity shot of the day. If anyone gave us the gift of those sunglasses, we would let you guys make a pick and throw it up on the big board. No one's done it so far just yet. We'll see if we get any celebrity shooters, celebrity pickers who want to throw a pick up on the screen. That's how you guys can do that. Again, 15 minutes left of our show. 15 minutes left of the show. Big Dave is asking about Pittsburgh and the Mariners, the Pirates-Mariners game. Let's go check it out. Looking at Pirates-Mariners. Okay. We're going to look at this. It's Marco Gonzalez on the mound for the Mariners. We're going to look at it from a Mariners money line perspective. Luis Ortiz on the mound for the Pirates. Only 15 and 2/3 innings pitched. Not a big sample size for Luis Ortiz, but on the road, he's been shellacked. Marco Gonzalez, he has a good win-loss record, but that ERA is really high, given that he's pitched 44 1/3 innings. Not inspiring a lot of confidence. Let's look at how the two lineups have done. Pirates against left-handed pitching. Bay hitting the ball really well. Wow. Castro hitting the ball well. Santana hitting the ball well. Connor Joe hitting the ball really well. Definitely some guys to keep note of in this Pirates lineup who hit left-handed pitching well. Against Marco Gonzalez, McCutchen, Hedges, Connor Joe, and Owings all hit the ball well. This actually brings up a pick that I wanted to give out. We haven't gotten any more confetti, but I am going to give out another pick. Because it refers to this game, and I had my eye on it. So I am going to give out another pick in relation to this game. I will get back to answering your question in a second, Big Dave, but I want to give out a pick related to this game. And that actually is about Connor Joe. As you saw, Connor Joe, good numbers against Marco Gonzalez. We're going to take Connor Joe. We're going to take him over half a hit. I'll check out his odds in just a second. But to answer your question on this game, if I had to go in a direction, Mariners against right-handed pitching, notice here, not too many hitters actually hit that well against right-handed pitching in this Mariners lineup. So if I had to go in a direction on this one, it's a toss-up for me. I really don't like the game. I really don't want to pick it. I don't like it. So if I had to go in a direction, I actually wouldn't take the money line. I might take the Pirates on the run line at +1.5. Pirates on the run line +1.5 is where I would go, Big Dave. I'm not crazy about the game, though. I would probably avoid it. Okay, really quick, I want to complete my thought on the Connor Joe prop bet, and then we will give out more picks because you guys keep hitting that like button. So we go to Connor Joe. I'm looking at his total hits. By the way, look at the implied probability on total hits. 61%. We love it. -155 is where we're taking it. Really good play. Connor Joe over half a hit at -155. Here are all the picks we've given out so far today. We also have a couple of picks for tomorrow's action. Those are with the plus signs next to them. ZZ, thank you so much for the support. We have hit 18,000 likes. 18,000 likes. So we have another pick to give out. Again, if you want us to give out even more picks, help us out with our live goal and hit that confetti. Okay, I'm going to take now Justin Turner. Justin Turner over half a hit. You can notice I'm doing some more half a hits. I like cashing on those. Those seem to be really consistent plays for us. Justin Turner over half a hit. The implied probability on this is 71%. Not getting great odds on it. So maybe let's look at total bases and hits, runs, RBIs. The under, not the best. Let's look at hits, runs, RBIs really quick. Okay, here we got it. -125. Hits, plus runs, plus RBIs at -125 for Justin Turner. Justin Turner over it's 1.5, my bad. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We're taking that at -125. Here's the reasoning behind it. Justin Turner, lifetime against Merrill Kelly, the starting pitcher of the Arizona Diamondbacks. 23 at-bats, 9 hits, 391 batting average. Again, 23 at-bats, 9 hits, a 391 average, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, only 4 strikeouts. Love the play. Love the play. We have hit 15,000 likes. You guys are awesome. You guys keep crushing it. Appreciate all the support you guys are showing us. Here are all of our picks up on the screen. We have already cashed on a number of our picks today, so we are just crushing it today. Manny Mills, welcome to the show. Appreciate your question on YouTube. Appreciate all of our viewers on YouTube. Manny Mills is asking about Spencer Strider total strikeouts. Let's go check it out. Spencer Strider on strikeouts. Again, only 10 minutes left of the show. Make sure you're getting your questions in. Spencer Strider, total strikeouts. The under is the stronger play. The under is the stronger play according to the implied probability. Interestingly, we know that his strikeout total has been very consistent this year above that mark, but the implied probability does not suggest that's the case tonight. Let's see how the Phillies have done against Strider in his career. Man, I don't know. A lot of bad numbers and a lot of strikeouts. I don't know. Spencer Strider, this isn't one I like because the trend suggests the over is a strong play. The lineup suggests it's a strong play, but the implied probability went in the other direction. If I look at how he's done against the Phillies, 2 of the last 4, man, this is a tough one. If I look at him at home, he's hit twice in a row against the Phillies at home. If I look at home, 3 in a row, I'm going to take the over. The trends have started to show it. Let's quickly look if there's an alternative line. No, that's the problem. Here it is. Over 8.5 at minus 136. That's what we're going to take it. So I am going to add this to our big board. Spencer Strider, over 8.5 strikeouts. At minus 135, I believe is what it was set at. Let's check. Minus 136. By the way, you can get over 7.5 at minus 265. But that said, that's what we like on it, Manny Mills. We like Spencer Strider over 8.5. I don't like the 9.5. I do like the 8.5. Appreciate all of those who are with us. Appreciate all of those who have joined the show. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. That way you know every time that we're live. We are live every single day for 2 hours. Every day, rain, shine, no matter what's going on in the world of sports, we are live every single day. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube, and Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you guys don't follow us on Twitter, you should. Sports Fumble on Twitter, Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. He is usually pretty good, Manny. I agree. He is usually pretty good. Appreciate all of those who are with us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Love the support you guys show us. You guys are absolutely the best. If you guys have any more questions, we have about 8 minutes left of the show. Make sure you're throwing in those questions. We still have time to do research to help you guys out with any of your picks. Orioles total run line. Orioles total line, run line. Okay, getting a question about the Orioles, clearly. Okay, first of all, let's look at the over. Let's look at the total. Interesting, the 9 isn't a good spot to take it at. If the 7, the 8, over 8.5, over 8, still not as strong a play as I would have thought. Interesting. But you were asking about, Big Dave was asking about the total and the run line. Total and the run line. Let's look at that Orioles. It shifted up from 8.5 to 9 on the line movement. You can see at the top right. Let's go to the ballpark, pal. Let's look at the weather. The weather in that game, man, the weather is not a good indication in that game. Home runs, likelihood of them is down 21% because of the weather. Extra base hits down 13% because of the weather. Overall runs down 11% because of the weather. Looking at the two starting pitchers in this matchup. It's Dane Dunning. It's Bradford. Bradford's the starting pitcher. I thought this was Dunning. Interesting. Bradford's the starting pitcher. Bad stats. Wow, look at that ERA. Yuck. On the other side, Bradish, he pitched really well against the Rangers earlier this year. Big Dave, now I see why you like this play. This might be a good play in favor of the Orioles. Let's look at how the Rangers have done against right-handed pitching. Some good numbers. Tavares, good numbers. Lowe, good numbers. Semien, good numbers. Seager, good numbers. So a number of hitters in the Rangers lineup have good numbers against right-handed pitching rather. However, not great overall. I do like Young. I'm going to throw him up on the board. We'll get to a player prop bet for him in just a second. But is it Josh Young? Is that his name? Yeah, Josh Young. So we'll throw him up on there. We'll get to him in just 1 second. You can see he has good numbers in his career. He's 2 for 2 lifetime. We'll get to him in just 1 second. But on the other side, if I look at the Orioles against left-handed pitching, only one hitter with good stats against left-handed pitching. Only one hitter with plus 300 money on left-handed pitching. Or plus 300 average, rather. Ryan Mountcastle. Alexander, good luck. Hope you're having a lot of fun. Just put a ton of money down on something. Good luck, Alexander. Wishing you well today. So interestingly, Ryan Mountcastle might be someone also to take on a player prop bet. If I had to go in one direction on this one, I would lean just slightly towards the Orioles. I'd lean slightly towards the Orioles on the money line. But Big Dave, I don't like the total. On this one. We are looking at two in-show player prop bets that just caught my eye. Josh Young and Ryan Mountcastle. So we're going to reverse engineer. Like the stats I saw in both of them today, just now. So let's go over. I'm just going to see if I can get them at hits, runs, and RBIs. That's worth taking. Josh Young. Let's see total hits. That's a good play, but it's minus 220. I'm willing to throw it up on the board. Over half a hit at minus 220. I like it, but it's not exactly what I want. I wish I were getting something a little bit better. Hits, runs, and RBIs, I didn't like it. Over total bases. Over 1.5 total bases. Over half a hit. Yeah, that's the only one we like Young at. Let's go to Ryan Mountcastle now. Ryan Mountcastle. Let's go to over bases. No, don't like it. Hits. Oh, don't like that one either. Hits, runs, RBIs. That has the stronger. Okay, Ryan Mountcastle, that's where we like it. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Ryan Mountcastle. Over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. We're throwing that up on the board at minus 155. Minus 155. So 2 more in-show plays for you. I am going to make our font a little bit smaller so you guys can see all the picks up on our screen that we have done or given out throughout the show. Only 2 minutes left of the show. We have already cashed 3 tickets today. We gave out picks for that 11:35 MLB game on Peacock, and we have already cashed on 3 of those. We are doing an unbelievable job cashing tickets so far today. So we cashed on the over in the Dodgers-Rays. We cashed on JD Martinez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And we cashed on Yandy Diaz over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So we are really crushing it today. 3 for 3 to start the day. Hopefully we can tack on a few more over the course of the next few hours. Make sure, we still have a couple more picks to give out. Make sure you hit that confetti. If we get our live goal, we will give out some more picks. So hit us up with that confetti. We'll give out some more picks in the final few minutes of the show. But for all of those who are watching, here are the picks we like today. Again, for those new to the show, if it's a bullet point next to it, it means it's a research play that we did prior to the show. So our research was done prior to the show. If it's an asterisk, it's a pick that we made because we did our research during the show. So we were answering questions or using our various tools or resources, found a pick we liked, and we put it up on the board during the show. So by the way, our in-show bets of the day are off to a 2-0 start. So not bad. We do have one pick, our pre-show pick of JD Martinez has already cashed. Hopefully JD can also go yard and give us that long ball, long shot of the day. We do have a couple picks for tomorrow night's games. Those have the plus sign next to them there at the bottom. And again, the long ball, long shots of the day, those are players we like to hit a home run. You may want to consider putting half a unit down on those while putting a full unit down on some of our favorite bets of the day. Appreciate all of those who have watched the show, all of those who support us. J Lope, Alexander, Big Dave, ZZ, IP Shade 45, LRK 425, Boss Lady Murr, John McCrabble, forgive me if I got that wrong, Off the Top Jack, Vicky Exchange, Parks, great to see you, Parks, Deadpool, L Chappers, appreciate the support today. Taylor, Tyler, Jacob Potter, Motorola, thank you guys for watching the show. Big shout out to all those who watched on YouTube. Manny Mills, Mark, Jeff, Haley, Kira. Big shout out to Beth. Big shout out to Colorful Carol. Great to see you on the show. Top Dog, Kyle, Anthony, Dante. Appreciate all of our loyal viewers. By the way, if you were thinking Ryan Mountcastle to hit a home run, I wouldn't hate on it. I do like it. I'm not going to put it up on our board, but I do like that play as well. Top Dog, appreciate all the support you show us. Hope you join us tomorrow. We have our show at 11 a.m. Our show's at 1 p.m. tomorrow. 1 p.m. on Monday. Candyman, where you been? Candyman, we just completed our 2-hour show. If you guys missed any of our picks or any of the research we've done over the last 2 hours, you can go to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports, and you can see the show we just did. That way you can check out all of the research and all of the picks in case you missed anything. We are live Monday. We are live Memorial Day at 1 p.m. Or actually, let me double check that. I want to double check that. We might actually be live earlier. So there's day baseball tomorrow. There's day baseball. Let me double check. Can you do 11 a.m.? I'd like to do 11 a.m. actually. I might be wrong. We need to do 11 a.m. tomorrow. So 11 a.m. tomorrow is our show. We will be live tomorrow at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Forgive me. There is day baseball tomorrow because of the holiday. So we are live again at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Sorry for the confusion. But tomorrow, Memorial Day, Monday, May 29th, we are live on TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and on YouTube at 11 a.m. Candyman, yeah, I'm glad you got the sleep, but we've already cashed a couple tickets. So for those who wake up early, you guys cashed in on our early picks. Make sure you're with us tomorrow, 11 a.m. Again, there's day baseball that starts at 1:30, 1 o'clock tomorrow. So we are live for our 2-hour show at 11 a.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. Make sure you're with us, 11 a.m. tomorrow, Monday, May 29th for Memorial Day. For everyone who watched the show, for everyone who supports the channel, for everyone who works here at Butt Fumble Sports behind the scenes, I want to give a big thank you to all of you. We couldn't, and we wouldn't do this without you. Thank you for all the support you guys show us. You guys are absolutely awesome. Candyman, I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. We are live at 11 a.m. tomorrow, May 29th. We will see you there. Until then, as always, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you cash a lot of tickets. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. We will see you tomorrow morning, Monday at 11 a.m. ZZ, I will see you there. Everybody, have a great afternoon. Have a